all gone. Everything is gone. The pool, the brewery, the bar. Hamad's house is effed. This one is no better. Oh my gosh, y'all look.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Okay, my house is flooding. Anybody out there? I have my dad on hospice and I need to get him out of here. He's bedridden, he can't walk, he can hardly move, and look where the water is. So somebody please, we've called 911. It's bad over here. In front of the house, it's like a river. I mean, it's like a lake. They can't come to we've lost our cars, everything. We've lived here for 30 years and this has never happened. So anybody, please, if you have a boat or something, I need help. I need to get my dad out of here. It's starting to smell like sewer in here.
Hey family, so now we are told that the flood in Texas was caused by black and brown people trying to get rid of the white race. Yes, you heard that. I cannot make this stuff up. Many of the MAGA nuts, especially some of the white evangelical nationalists, believe in a conspiracy theory that we, black and brown people, somehow, along with the Jews, have manipulated the weather system. Yes, I'm not lying to you. And caused the flooding in the predominantly white area so that we can kill off white folk and then we can just have life without white folk. Here's the thing, white people, especially you racist white folk. If black and brown people wanted to get rid of you, don't you think we would have? But the truth of the matter is we don't care enough about you to even think about getting rid of you. Because we know those of you who are filled with hatred, vitriol, racism, prejudice, bigotry, xenophobia, homophobia, and all the other phobias, that God, the same God that you think you're serving, God has the final say, and he's going to deal with you on Judgment Day. So we don't have to be your judge and juror. See, the problem is you think that the same hatred you have in your heart towards people of color reciprocates within the hearts of black people. And I keep telling you all, we don't have the same heart. We don't operate like that. So give yourself a break, okay? Calm your little petty behinds down, okay? Because the last thing we are thinking about is you racist, ignorant, MAGA nuts, okay? We're too busy getting highly educated, very wealthy, and very, very attractive.
Just so I'm clear, they're blaming the black fire chief in Austin hours away instead of the local officials who rejected funding in order to have a warning system, as well as ignoring the fact that Kristi Noem waited 72 hours to approve FEMA support.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel once again. Today we are diving into something I honestly find ridiculous, and it's coming straight from the right-wing echo chamber. Republicans are out here trying to blame people of color again for what's happening in Texas right now. And if you have been online, you already know. The weather is out of control. I've seen countless videos, street flooded, homes destroyed, people stuck indoors, others unable to get back home. People are losing everything: property, vehicles, access to roads, even basic shelter. And somehow the GOP thinks the biggest problem is a flag. Let's talk about it, because this gaslighting is getting dangerous. So kindly guys, I want you to watch this compilation of videos, then I'll be back with more comment. All credits goes to the original creator of the video. Kindly remember to give a video a thumbs up. I'm your host, Dash Lifestyle.
Dude, my house, my apartment, the whole thing, bro. Dude, holy shit. Oh my God. My everything, bro.
Oh my God. It is flooding out here in Central Texas. We just got a notice that we need to evacuate my apartment. Now, those of y'all that follow me, y'all know that I come out here on my patio often, and I show you where the deer and stuff are down there. He making rounds. He making rounds. He making rounds. But this is a river. We live in between two rivers, and this river is flooded. That is high. Like normally, I want to say that this is probably a good 12 feet above ground or more. Thankfully, we up here on the second floor, but the rain is continuing to come. It's supposed to rain all day, and it's getting pretty crazy. We are getting flooded out. I'm talking about seriously. It is bad. Look at that.
Now, after all this flood which it is happening in Texas, MAGA people right now, they are trying to blame black people. They are blaming DAI, and majority of black people, they have come out and also react. Watch this video.
So let's get this straight, guys. For months, meteorologists, experts, and media outlets warned that Donald Trump's budget cuts to the National Weather Service were reckless, and that slashing funding and gutting staff would directly hurt their ability to predict severe storms, that it would put lives in danger. And now, right on cue, a deadly flood hits Texas, and state officials are turning around and blaming the Weather Service for inaccurate forecast. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? This is what happens when you hollow out public safety in the name of politics and cruelty. The NWS isn't some luxury. It's not a partisan tool. It's the reason families get warnings in time. It's the reason people evacuate. It's the reason kids make it home from school before the storm hits. But McDonald Trump's second term has made it crystal clear. If a program protects people and saves lives but doesn't align with his agenda or help his image, he'll gut it, no matter who it hurts. And then, when disaster strikes, just like the experts said it would, they blame the very people that they've undercut. It's scapegoating at its most cowardly. This flood was tragic, but it wasn't just a freak accident of nature, guys. It was a failure of leadership, a predictable consequence of dismantling the very systems designed to keep us safe. If you're more concerned with scoring political points than funding the people who literally track deadly storms for a living, then you are the danger to public safety.
You're telling me that the Republicans, that MAGA, they stop politicizing the Texas flood, stop, but they're praising Charlie Kirk for being racist and trying to blame the mother and tragedy, the deaths and the missing people on DEI? Are you serious?
They're so despicable. The Democrats are not lifting a finger to remember the well over 100 people that have died in Texas Hill Country. What you are not being told by the media anywhere is that the death toll likely would not have been as high if it wasn't for DEI.
We told the MAGA in Texas, don't forget what you voted for, because you voted for the funding for the necessary agencies to help you during these natural disasters. You voted to underfund and cut the funding to them. Don't forget that you voted for that, and you voted for the livelihoods of everybody else to be affected. But now you're turning around trying to give crocodile tears. That's what we said. Don't politicize it. Don't politicize it. The what is this? What the fuck is this? You guys just, every time it's time to take some accountability, let's just throw all the dog whistles out there. DEI, illegal, undocumented. It's like, give it a break. Give it a fucking break, dog. Like, this shit, Charlie Kirk is so fucking ugly, but like, give it a break, dude. Give it a break. I'm tired of hearing him, tired of looking at him. Stop putting this motherfucker on my feed, because I'm tired of hearing this type of dumb shit coming from MAGA, coming from the fucking Republicans. It's old.
So it didn't take long for the MAGA white nationalists to blame black people. Whenever they have a chance, they'll blame black people, gay people, women. So the folks on the ground, the white men, are blaming a black fire chief for the disaster and the deaths in Texas. Yep. An all-white fire chief association is blaming a black fire chief. A Fox News pundit is blaming this black fire chief. Charlie Kirk is calling it another DEI hire that has resulted in tragic deaths. You guys want to know who they're blaming? The fire chief of Austin, Texas. Austin is 2.5 hours away from Hunt, Texas, the hardest hit part of the flood, where the Christian camp is located. 2.5 hours away, they're blaming a black fire chief. This is their effort, if you can't see it by now, to put only white, straight men in leadership positions, in power, accumulating all the wealth, and having everybody else work in menial slave labor type jobs. This is why education is being gutted. This is why DEI has been destroyed. This is why brown people are being deported. This is all of it. He must have been the closest black fire chief they could find, 2.5 hours away.
Now, why are these white people coming out and blame black fire chiefs? Did the black fire chiefs brought all this flood? No, this is not black fire chiefs who brought all this flood. So these people, whenever there is something bad happening, the first people they always want to frame, it is the black people. Any crime which it is happening in America, which it is involved even a black person can't even work for free. So this is now to tell you that because they don't have anyone to blame, they have turned all their blames to black fire chiefs. So kindly guys, continue watching. I'll be back with more comment.
All y'all saying Trump cut funding, we had to cut funding. The Democrats, Joe Biden, sent billions and billions of dollars to Ukraine. Just think if that money had been spent right here. That's why Trump's having to cut funding.
There is something major about to take place, and with recent events, I really want this message to get out. I have been tracking this development that is in the Gulf for the last week. I have watched them say it's not going to change, nothing's going to happen, 7% chance outlook of developing, and today that shit just quadrupled in the chances that it will be a major event that will happen and affect large parts of Florida, Louisiana, New Orleans, things of that nature. What is actually really scary is that the area, which would be the Florida Everglades, Tampa Bay, all of that over there, Louisiana, New Orleans, is the alligator Alcatraz shit, and how no one's talking about these people who are probably about to drown because they're in tents surrounded by crocodiles. But let me give you the weather side of it. As of right now, they are still maintaining the idea that a tropical system could form. I need you to know that a tropical system starts with a tropical storm, then goes to a tropical depression. Nevertheless, the National Hurricane System has been posting about this development, but the information is not seeming to reach its target audience due to cuts to multiple weather and news services. This is the area that they're saying something could develop, and the chances just jump from like 0 to 40. Within 48 hours. Chances are expected to increase, but I need you to know that those individuals who have been detained, that they are saying are not just criminals. There are women, children, people in the Florida Everglades that are about to experience torrential rainfall. Every rainfall plus storm surge equals disaster, and they are trying to get the information out, but it's not hitting on shit. I need y'all to know that what happened in Texas, what is currently happening in parts of New Jersey, is headed towards Florida, and we have people locked in cages. Not only that, no one is knowing what the fuck is coming their way. And the growing concern for another significant rain and flooding event this week, this time along the Gulf Coast, is starting because of what could form in this Atlantic Basin's next tropical system. There is no way people in cages, in tents, in the Everglades during a storm could survive this. People that are in Louisiana, we know how they like to open the levees and flood everything. Please, if you can, prepare. Let someone know. Let a friend know. I don't give a f if you think it's only rich people in Florida. If you think only people who know how to deal with this shit live on the coast, it's not true. Please help me get this information out because I feel like no one listens.
You're not supposed to say this, but these people in Texas helped create the disaster that killed them. They voted down safety measures, they rejected federal funding, and now they want silence, sympathy, and your donations. But I'm not going to let that happen. We're going to talk about what really happened here, why these people are responsible. This wasn't just a flood, and it damn sure wasn't just a natural disaster. This was a man-made tragedy that was the result of decades of political cowardice, ignored warnings, and deliberate inaction from the people who had the power to prevent it and chose not to. Kerr County had everything they needed to prevent this. They had the warnings, they applied for grants, they received federal funding, and they chose to spend it on anything other than a warning system for the river. With COVID recovery funds in hand, they instead bought the sheriff's department new radios and gave the sheriff's department raises, instead of putting other people first and building the system they knew for decades they needed. They said using this money that came from Democrats was against their values and would result in them selling out if they used it for a warning system. In fact, some Kerr County residents requested that the county give the money back to the federal government because they didn't want any money from any Democrat. Let that sink in. They chose an ideology over an infrastructure that would save people's lives, and they chose politics over people. In fact, Dick Eastland, one of the owners of Camp Mystic that I've been very critical of, lobbied after a 1987 flood that killed 10 campers in a separate camp to have a warning system built, and it was built. And then the River Authority dismantled it in 1999, saying it was outdated and no longer needed. Even with all the warnings in place, the River Authority and the local county did nothing to replace the system, and even Dick Eastland continued to lobby for a new system, but he wasn't willing to put up any of his money. But he was continuously held down by the system above him and their inaction. And it's true, he was appointed to the River Authority Board in 2022, but that was too late to do anything at that point. The dies had already been cast, and they couldn't get this built in time. And let that sink in. Even somebody who knew the risks, who lobbied for it, who was considered royalty in that area, could not convince the community to fix this known issue that would cost hundreds their lives. And then the storm came, and the National Weather Service issued all of their warnings. In fact, they had the warnings out at the right time. But Kerr County officials waited 90 minutes to push the warning system out in their outdated alert system that they had refused to fund. No alerts, no sirens, no phone calls, no evacuations until it was too late. And now the same leaders who failed, the same people that are supposed to protect people, are instead pointing fingers and doing everything to dodge responsibility and accountability for their actions. They're pointing fingers, they're blaming the weather, they're blaming the river. In some cases, they're blaming the victims, all while saying now's not the time to talk about this. And some of them aren't even doing that much. They're outsourcing the responsibility to God, saying that this was God's plan. It was His will. He'll comfort us. God knows everything. But let's be clear, God didn't cut FEMA funding. God didn't reject federal funding, and God didn't wait 90 minutes to send an alert. People did that, leaders did that, and the voters allowed that. This wasn't divine will, this wasn't Mother Nature, this was a leadership failure. No amount of prayer, no amount of divine intervention is going to fix what cowardice and neglect destroyed. And they continue to say, now is not the time. And they said that after Columbine. They said that after Parkland. They said that after Sandy Hook. They said that after the Pulse nightclub. They said that after Las Vegas. They say that after every single preventable death. So I'll ask now, what they never want to answer. If not now, when? When do we talk about why nobody warned the public? Why did they choose sheriffs over sirens? Why did they cut funding, blocked aid, and left their own communities defenseless? If not now, when do we hold them accountable? This wasn't a natural disaster. This was a leadership failure, and we know exactly who failed.
You're okay? Okay.
Oh my God.
There's art.
Oh my God.
We have a lot, like all our trees.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
This shit is embarrassing. And you might be like, why? I mean, the MAGA chuds, they do this weird AI shit all of the time. And that is true. But this is particularly embarrassing because the White House posted that. The official White House account is where this image comes from. Like, they have solidified their place as being the cringiest social media presence of any administration ever. Like, they have long established this. They could stop posting today and they would hold that record proudly. And yet every day they say, hold my beer. Every day it's something new. But you know what is entertaining? The comment section around their posts. Looks like he's flying away with the Epstein list. The most childish administration that has ever existed. Here we have Jeffrey Epstein just giggling. And a cool poster, but where's the Epstein list? This is what our presidency has come to. This is, even his own chuds are like, I don't understand. Some of them are still like towing the company line. But the ranks are starting to fall apart. People are starting to go, wait a minute. I thought What? Stay standing on their necks about the Epstein list. Stay standing on their necks.
Someone who grew up in Texas, I have to say, y'all are focused on the wrong thing right now. You're focused on the wrong thing. Everyone keeps talking about how Ted Cruz was in Greece when the flash flood started, but that's not the real story here. The real story is that after the floods transpired, okay, you're following? Trump went to his private golf club, which he paid an estimated $35 million for, play a nice clean game. And he did it on taxpayer dollars. Oh yes, because didn't you know the taxpayer thus far in his term has paid about $23 million just for his golfing habit? So I just find it interesting how there's millions of dollars for a hobby and trillions of dollars to send more of these overseas, but there wasn't enough money when Texas officials twice rejected applications from Kirk County for a flood warning system, or enough money to help sick people get Medicaid or hungry people get SNAP benefits. No. And see, I take this kind of stuff real personally because I was living in Houston, Texas during the power grid failure in 2021. This is a photo of me wearing multiple bottoms and multiple tops with a scarf wrapped around my head because we had no heat and no power for days. Hundreds of people lost their lives because of the incompetent leadership that we have in Texas. This is not a joke. I understand intimately what it feels like and what it looks like to be failed by said leadership. And what was Ted Cruz doing while his constituents were freezing to death in their homes? Oh yeah, he was going on a trip to Cancun because baby couldn't handle it. No, too uncomfy. In summation, make it make sense.
So an all-white fire chief association is blaming a black fire chief for the floods that happened in Texas. An all-white people are blaming a black fire chief for the floods in Texas. You're blaming the wrong color. The color you should be blaming is orange. And he's in the White House. All the blame should go to him. All of it. The nerve to blame anybody black. You had a chance to blame it on a black person, but you voted for someone who was orange when you could have voted for someone who was black. Y'all said no. 77 million of you, plus the ones who didn't vote, plus the ones who voted third party. You could have blamed it on someone black, but you didn't. So blame it on someone orange. Blaming this on a black fire chief is insane work, nefarious work, nasty work.
So guys, I hope you have watched that video and you have seen how things they are in Texas. And also guys, before adding my commentary, I have some of the message from black folks. Majority of black folks, they have come out and also share their thoughts and their views on the comment section. So this guy who has come out and said the Royal House of Judah, aka Black Americans, Black people in the diaspora is awakening, and we are repenting and turning our way back to the Lord, and we are beginning to pray against our enemies, and Babylon is falling. Shalom. So this is a message from one of our black man. He's saying that black people right now, we are waking up because in this flood we have seen white people, they are now blaming black people. You can imagine how comes the white people that are blaming black people for the flood. This flood, the black people brought this flood? No, black people, they didn't brought this flood. It is because of the government. It didn't predict and it didn't warn them that the flood, it is coming. There's a change in weather, but because of how we have seen things have gone and turned out, now they are putting the blame to the black person, because the black person is in charge of the some of the emergencies offices in America. So let me just read you another message here. Awakening, I am 60, you all been sleeping the last 40 years. So let me just read another. They wasn't thinking about the flood in all the black towns that now underwater. Also in black towns, they have been flooded, but these people, they didn't speak about it. And also whenever there's anything bad which it is going on in the black community, these people, they so much reluctant. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to show on the media. But when it is for them, these people now, they are coming out and they will look to a person who will put all the blames to. Right now they are blaming black people. So let me just read you another comment here. They cry for the material things they lose, but not for the black lives they took and continue to take vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. I will avenge my people. Now, this one, it is a very powerful message. They cry for the materials, think they lose. So you can see right now, white folks, they are crying for the materials they are losing right now. So when the black lives, it is lost, these people, they don't care. And that's why we black people have been asking for reparation until now, simply because these people, they don't want to pay black reparation. And this reparation that black people you are asking, it is not that we want to benefit from the reparation. No, we want them to compensate, to pay for the damage they did, to pay some of the families right now. They are living with scars. They are having still the memories of what happened to their grandfather, to their parents during the time of the colonization period. So these people, they need to pay for the damage, but these people, they don't care. They don't want, if the black life it is lost, these people, they don't care. They will not talk about it. But when their property, it is being destroyed, when they're losing their properties, so now they will come out and talk. This means that these people, they are so much concerned with the materials than the black lives. You can see for them, the car, the house, it is so much important to them than the black lives. And that's why this guy is coming out and saying they are crying for the materials things they lose, but not for the black lives they took. Yeah, not for the black lives they took. I've told you that these people, they took so much black lives during the time of the colonization period. And also how black people were treated in America. We have seen so many cases of how black people that are being treated in America. They don't care about that. So and also continue to take vengeance, and also this guy is saying that Lord is avenging for the black people, and this is like a punishment. This is telling the white folks that you need to treat the black people how you are treating your fellow your brothers and sister. And this is like a vengeance. God of black, or God is avenging for the black people. And guys, remember that I'm not mocking anyone. I'm not saying bad things about anyone. I'm just doing this video for educational purposes. So let me just read you another comment here. Judgment and vengeance is from God, and America is a hell. Wow, that is a powerful. Judgment and vengeance is from God, and America is a hell. So we have seen how America, it has turned right to, and so many people, they are now seeing like America, it is being punished from what they have been doing. So the black fire chief is not even in that jurisdiction. I am pretty sure that they could have found an all-white fire department to blame it that jurisdiction, seeing the fact that Mystic Lake is a sundown town. So this one is saying that the black fire chief is not even in that jurisdiction. So we saw what white people, they came out and tried to put all blame to the black chief. But we come out and realize that the black chief is not in that jurisdiction. So it's bad what happened there. A medic and was going to go voluntary helping, but then I found out it is a sundown city. I didn't want to take that chance. So this one, he wanted to go there, but he came out and see how things are going there. He didn't want to go there. And then there's a comment here, we won't dirty our hands, God will do it for us. So the black people, they are seeing this like these people, they are being punished, and that's why when they are seeing all things which it is happening to the white folks, black people, they are seeing like this is a punishment from God. And the black people can see right now, they are saying we will do nothing, but we will let God do the punishment for us black people. So they blame us because they know it's divine justice for their treatment of black people. The Almighty said in Genesis 15 that he is going to judge this nation. Wow. So you can just open your Bible, Genesis 15, and you can read to us, or you can write down on the comment section and tell us what the verse it is saying. Because this guy, he has come out and said they blame us because they know it's divine justice for their treatment of black people. The Almighty said in Genesis 15 that he is going to judge this nation. So the American, it is now under judgment. What I can tell you, that America now, it is under judgment, and they're being punished because of the wrongdoings they have been doing to the so many countries, to the black people, to different countries. You have seen how America, it has been intruding to some of the country, and right now it is like they are being punishment. Even this new administration, what they are doing, it is like God decided to put this man in the office so that he can use him to punish America, because majority of Americans, they have been crying, others they are losing their jobs, others they are cannot even afford basic necessities. So all this, it is like a punishment from God. Let me just read this. Punishment like the Pharaoh of old, it's called judgment, and getting exactly what they voted for. Also, when you point your finger at someone, 3 are pointing back to you. Yeah, I hope you guys, you can understand that comment. So let me just read you the last comment here. Black people ain't had nothing to do with the flooding in Texas or anywhere else. Black people most of the time get blamed for things we didn't do, and that's not right. Be blessed and safe. So this one is saying black people, they are always being blamed for something they have not been doing, and that it is true. You can see also in the criminal justice how the criminal justice, they are treating black people. Anything small, if a black person, he has found him or safe in a small mistake, he cannot just go for free. But for a white person, he can walk out for free. So this is tell you that these people, they are so much concerned to get to jail easy black people than them white people. So kindly guys, you can also share your thoughts on the comment section. Tell me what do you think about topic of today, and kindly remember to give a video a thumbs up. And this video, it was purely for educational purposes. Kindly you can also share your views and comments on the comment section. See you on my next one. Bye bye guys.